it's a very good morning to you if you've just joined us. Guess what? We have your special guest right here in studio for the first time for 2026. Welcome to the airwaves, Coach Zaid Ismail. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. And how are you?
Alhamdulillah. It seems like we never left. 2026 just feels like we just picked up where we left off. Like, what was that even?
Yeah, it wasn't even a break, was it?
No. It didn't feel like it. I don't know why. Why do you think?
I think there's just so much going on. It's like you take a breather and you know you're taking the breather because you need the breather because you're going to get started again soon. So
Yeah.
everything just flows into each other.
We just live in the fast lane.
It's crazy, eh?
It is. Even when we slow down, we're still slowing down fast. That's just how I feel.
And it's like we have to slow down, not we're slowing down because we're just not going to be busy. We
Yeah.
have to slow down.
We were forced because
Uh-huh.
everyone else was just off. So,
Yeah.
like, what were you going to do?
And if you don't slow down, then you're not going to be like recharged for next year and all of that. So yeah, we just don't stop. We don't switch off.
And, like, there's definite negatives. There's a downside to that not switching off.
Oh yeah, definitely. Then the burnout starts. But
Yeah.
we don't see it as burnout. We just see it as, oh no, I need a break.
Yeah, and burnout, like we said last year, is now the noddy badge. How burnt out are you? It's like, I'm
Yeah.
more burnt out than you. I work harder, you know?
And if you're not burning out, then are you really taking your hustle seriously?
Oh my God, the pressure. Oh my word. Well, welcome back. We are happy to have you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, let's call it season 2.
Yeah, season 2. And we are talking today about something that I feel a lot of people need. And that is hope.
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 Fair warning.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very cynical today, so you're going to have to keep me on my best behavior.
Right. Okay, I've been at work for over a week, so I am
Oh.
ready to mentor everybody who just got back to work and say, like, back in line, come. I've been there. I know what it feels like. Head is still in the clouds. But yes, why should we be hopeful?
You know, whenever someone talks about hope, it's like, even when I was driving here, the one phrase that keeps popping into my mind is like, you've got a hope in hell. You know, that's the thing that everyone always likes to say, you've got a hope in hell of this working out, or you've got a hope in hell of ever getting that right, or achieving this, or whatever it is. Hope is about probability, right? What's the chances of us getting it? What's the chances of it happening?
Because nobody really knows if what you are going to do is going to work out, what you
Yes.
set out to achieve, if not for hope.
And what we believe is the chance of it being achieved is what will give us reason to have hope or not hope, right? So then most people, they like, I hope this happens, but they do nothing about it. They're just hoping. That's not hoping, that's dreaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't just dream about something and say, yeah, I wish someday I'm going to be rich. Someday I'm going to be successful. Someday I'm going to have my own business. But you're sitting there and you're slogging away 9 to 5 and you're doing absolutely nothing to progress towards that. So you're not hoping for anything. You're just like daydreaming.
There's a difference.
It's a big difference.
What is the difference between I'm hoping and then sitting there and daydreaming, doing nothing to make it happen?
I think daydreaming is when we pacify ourselves. Make ourselves feel better about the fact that we're not doing anything about that life that we want. Hope is where we're really like exerting ourselves and we know that we don't have everything in place for it, but we hope that our efforts will like create opportunity, open new doors for us, maybe connect to new networks in the process. And then you have hope because you are doing something about it. You're not just sitting back and thinking like, I wish it would happen.
It's like, I wish I could get a job, but then you're not doing your CV, sending it out, being active in seeking employment.
Or worse than that, you're not even keeping yourself relevant. You're not even keeping your skills relevant and up to date.
Yeah.
So you might have been good at something 10 years ago and you took a sabbatical for whatever reason, or you maybe lost your job because of retrenchments, whatever it was. And in that time, you just like waited for someone to like give you a chance again. You didn't actually do something to keep yourself in tune with what's happening in your career field or whatever it is.
And that's so important. People are still trying to solve today's problems with yesterday's solutions.
Yeah.
And that's not going to work because today's problems have completely changed. Like, the way you should approach it should also change.
Yeah. And then they're always talking about how much they achieved before, but not how much they're currently achieving.
Yeah.
And that's why hope is like, it's such a nice thing to throw around, right? Give people hope and all of that. And it's not, I'm not making light of it. It's an important thing. I think every morning that you wake up and you get out of bed, it's because you have hope that something positive or important is going to result from your efforts. And how important that thing is to you, that's how much hope you're going to have in it, and that's how much you're going to be invested in it, right? So I think it's like we need to be more genuine, more committed, more
active in your hope.
Yeah, it's not just like sit there and think like, is the universe going to answer my calls today? No, the universe is not waiting to answer your calls. I keep telling people, when you're waiting for the universe to respond, it's like it's no different to thinking that the world revolves around you. No one's waiting to help you out of your space, because no one knows what space you're in if you're doing nothing about it yourself.
What do you think of it when they say no one's coming to save you? This life is 100% your responsibility. What do you think of that?
I think there's a lot of truth to that, and I think that's how you keep it real. And the first thought that came to my mind is, why do you need to be saved? What do you think of yourself that you want to be saved? Why aren't you doing something about the situation you're in?
Do you think a lot of people are waiting to be saved?
I think it's a slippery slope, that waiting to be saved thing, right? Because sometimes we convince ourselves that if we're worth it, someone would want to save us. And then we test our value to others by whether or not they're coming to save us.
Right.
So they know how bad I've got it. Why aren't they coming to do something for me? Why aren't they helping me? Why aren't they giving me a hand up, or whatever it is? And that's because I need to believe that, hey, there's hope that I could still be important in someone's life.
True.
And that person's life I want to be important in has to be the person I want to be important, not the people that I am already important to.
Yeah. But then they say, I'm not a control freak. I'm easy to deal with. I'm not a control freak. But there's all these setups. I see that.
Here's an interesting point about that, right? I believe that the more control you have, the less hope you have.
The more
control you have, or the more control you try to have, the less hope you have.
I can totally understand that. Please explain for our listeners.
Because if I have hope, which is part of confidence and belief, and being able to look to the future and see where am I heading and what's the possibilities in that, I don't need to control everything. I only control things when I need predictability, because I don't trust.
That's it. It's a trust thing.
Yes. Control is not about power and authority and all of that. It's about trust.
Yeah.
And it's not about trusting others. It's about trusting yourself. You can't give what you don't have, right? And the same thing with hope. If you have no hope in yourself being better than who you are today, if you believe that you're like always going to be inadequate, you're going to fall behind, you're not going to be enough, all of those stupid thoughts that go through our minds all the time. If that's where you're fixated, you're not going to have hope about the future. And the absence of hope about the future is depression.
And that is a huge topic that we need to focus on this year. I mean, it's January.
Yeah, it's January.
It's January. And people are definitely at this time into, okay, what am I going to do differently this year? What am I going to achieve this year? Are we doing New Year's resolutions still?
Well, I would love to hear people's New Year's resolutions, and I also want to see like what version of that resolution are you on? Version 10, 11, 12?
I will never tell you that I have New Year's resolutions. I'm sorry.
Like, how many years in a row have you started out with this good intention?
New year, new me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then by end of January, it's like, hey, same bills, same year, same
problems.
everything. So, old me.
Yes. It's new me having old me's problems. It's painful. But let's talk about hopelessness.
Hopelessness is your belief. It's not reality. And I say this because, okay, this might get a bit dark, but there's a silver lining to the story. There was, I think I mentioned in one of our previous conversations as well, is that there was this guy that was jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge, I think it was, and he was going to commit suicide. And when he jumped, he was one of the few that survived, right? But he says the moment, that, like instantaneously, the moment his hand left that railing, he had instant regret about his decision to jump.
Okay.
And then he heard about other survivors of a similar experience from the same bridge. And I think there was about 19 people that he managed to connect with, and he interviewed them, and every single one of them said exactly the same thing. The moment they left that railing, they had instant regret. They wished they didn't do it.
Okay.
And that tells me about hope. Because in that moment, when you have that stark reality, when you have everything that you're looking at without any filters, without any rose-colored spectacles or anything like that, or even any pessimism, you're just seeing it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Then suddenly you realize exactly what is available to you, what's valuable, what's important.
Mm.
Unfortunately, the moment you go through that moment, if you go back into your old routines of focusing on what is out of your control and focusing on what it is that's not working for you and everything else, you get back into that space.
I wish more people would understand that leaving the railing moment,
Yes.
the kind of the realization that dawns on you, that like it's not that bad.
And here's why it's never that bad. When we look at all the things that don't work out for us, right, we lose sight of all the things that do work out for us.
Yeah.
But it's not just about being this happy-go-lucky optimist. I'm saying that when you were down and out in the doldrums, unemployed, looking for your first job, don't have a good relationship, whatever it was very rarely that it was a direct consequence of everything that you were doing that suddenly things turned out.
Mm.
It was more often than not that unexpected phone call, that unexpected email that you got, or the WhatsApp message you received from someone who knows someone who's got an opportunity for you that you had no reason to expect was actually there.
Yeah.
So those unexpected positives that we experience, the good surprises, the happiness, all of those moments, that's what proves that it's really pointless to be hopeless, because you don't know what's around the next corner.
You know, I just want to ask you, what is toxic positivity?
Toxic positivity is trying to tell yourself that everything is okay when you know it's not. It's like literally lying to yourself and lying to others.
I think I spent the whole of 2025 being toxically positive. If you're putting it like that.
I mean, think about it. If I'm having a really difficult time, right? And someone comes to me and says, don't worry, it's going to be okay. Oh yeah? How? No, don't worry, it's going to be okay. How is it going to be okay? What is going to change? They can't tell me. That's toxic positivity. Just look on the bright side. Just be happy. Wake up in the morning and be positive about life. Okay, how does that solve any of the problems that's weighing me down? That's toxic positivity. That's trying to wish away reality in the hope that something is going to improve without doing anything meaningful towards it. But if you tell me, don't worry, it's going to be okay, and I say, how? And you say, well, because you focus on that, but don't focus on that, because here's opportunity to do something with this dead space and dead time that you've got right now.
Yeah.
And while you're doing that, something else will come along, right? Now it's not toxic positivity. Now I'm giving you something to work with. I'm saying, like, listen, yes, I know it's bad. I know the job market is difficult. I know your career field, whatever it is going through some turmoil. AI is replacing some jobs that you used to be good at and all of that. Okay, but don't worry about that. Reskill yourself, upskill yourself, do something. Here's other reusable kind of skills of yours that you can apply in a different space. Now I'm giving you something to work with.
Yeah.
That's where hope comes from.
Yeah.
Hope comes from seeing that there's possibility. And the probability, the chances of it happening, is dependent on what you put into it.
That is so important for us to remember. It's dependent on what we put into it.
Yes.
So what do you have to say to the hopeless today?
To the hopeless? I think you're just holding on to that hopelessness because it feels safer. It feels safer than hoping and being disappointed. It feels safer than hoping and things not working out and having people mock at you or laugh at you or ridicule you or make fun of you or tease you about the fact that, look, you didn't get it. Because we have cruel people like that around us all the time. People who don't think twice about mocking someone else's failures and someone else's difficulties in life because they think, well, as long as we get a laugh out of it, they must know we were just joking, man. They mustn't be so serious.
Yeah, that they mustn't be so serious is an excuse or a justification for actual nasty treatment.
For insensitivity, for being self-absorbed. You're more concerned about the reaction you're going to get and the joke you're going to make rather than what you're actually having an impact on the person around you with.
Do you find that people who are hopeless, right? Not hopeless as a person, I mean like they have lost their hope. You know, in our community we have to issue disclaimers. You're hopeless, man.
You're a passenger.
Yeah, you're hopeless. Like, I'm talking about the actual loss of hope. Some people actually retreat there because there's less pressure. once you publicize that, hey, I'm not feeling okay, like nothing ever works out for me. You have people who have that language.
Mhm.
It's never me. My brother's always been the lucky one. My sister's
Yeah.
been my parents did more for her or them, and look at me, look at my situation.
Oh,
do
boy.
you feel that also reduces pressure or expectations? Like they trying to say also, please don't expect much from me.
Yes.
Like it leads me to the entitlement I enjoy.
Not only the entitlement you enjoy, but it manages expectation about what should you
Yeah.
expect from me, because now that you know how difficult it is for me, how hard I got it, how unfair life has
Yes.
been, adjust your expectations so you don't judge me,
Yeah.
right? And the one thing that I'm curious to know is, of the people listening, how many of them took out their violins when you're talking about all of that?
Hmm.
Right, because there's no shortage of people who want to complain about how unfair things are. Yeah, at which point did someone tell you that life is fair?
That is a very, very harsh question.
But seriously, right? I told you I'm cynical today.
Yes.
Here's the thing, right? If life was fair, what would be the purpose of any efforts towards justice? What would be the need for justice? What would be the need for standing up against oppression? What would be the need for honesty and reliability?
And what awakenings, like, would we have, if not for that trial?
Exactly. Because the trial happens because we're not fully informed about what we're doing.
Mm.
Right? Now, if you want to judge yourself about not being fully informed, then you've got lots of material to work with, because you're never going to be fully informed about life.
Yeah.
And that's the joy of life. That sudden discovery,
Yeah.
that sudden realization, that sudden spontaneous moment of happiness, of accomplishment. Something you didn't see coming, you didn't expect coming. That didn't feel like you were dodging a bullet, that's why you had to do it.
Mm.
That's what life is about. That's what makes it fulfilling.
Yeah.
Now, if you're looking at it from that perspective, and you're looking back on your life and you're thinking, hey, look at all of these things that I've actually accomplished that before I actually set out to do it, I never thought I would be able to,
Yeah.
right? Then you have reason for hope.
I mean, because you just hoped it would work out. You're like, I'm taking
Sometimes
this step.
you didn't even hope it was working out,
Yeah.
right? You just thought, I have to do this or else,
Yeah.
right? And then you did it, and years down the line, you look at it and you think, wow, look how far I've come.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're ungrateful about your accomplishments,
Mm.
about the opportunities that came your way that you didn't have a direct hand in,
Mm.
if you're ungrateful about the people who supported you and the people who uplifted you and the people who gave you opportunity and created opportunity for collaboration, if you're ungrateful about all of that,
Mm.
you're going to be looking at all of those accomplishments and you're going to say, it was my hard work and
Yeah.
I'm tired now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't have hope, because I don't have it in me to work hard anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's ingratitude.
I think that's very important, the ingratitude, you know. Yesterday, I think I shared something about how about stop focusing on everything you need and being grateful for everything you currently have.
Yes. You can't build on a negative, right? Anyone who's been through maths in high school or even I think primary school by now, you would know that if you work on a negative, it becomes a bigger negative.
Yeah.
Work on a positive and you get more.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got things working for you, you've got things in your favor, you've got capabilities, you've got tools, you've got resources, you've got whatever it is, equipment, skills, you work on that, you build on that, you use that in a new context. You apply yourself diligently with purpose. You don't sit there and look at everything you don't have.
And that's important because the two can't gel well. The hopeful and the hopeless. Put them in a conversation. What's more likely to happen?
So if you want to know whether you're hopeless or not, no matter how positive and optimistic you might appear in life,
Yeah.
here's one question I want you to answer for yourself. Do you have a problem for every solution that's presented to you?
You know, I keep saying that. Stay away from people who have a problem for every solution.
Are you the person that says yes but, yes but? Oh, you don't know how hard it is. I don't need to know how hard it is. I just need to know whether you are actually applying yourself and appreciating the ability you have.
Yeah. What are the symptoms of hopefulness? Signs and symptoms of a hopeful person. How do I know I am a hopeful person? I'm healthy. I'm like yeah, I'm on the right track.
You recognize that life is not the way you would like it to be, but you also recognize that there are things that you can do that can improve things incrementally, step by step, baby steps. So you're more focused on what you can do rather than what is out of your control. Then you're hopeful. You're hopeful because you know that any effort will lead to something. Whether it leads to something good or bad, that's where you check yourself about, okay, I did that for hoping for this outcome, but I didn't get that outcome, I got a different outcome, which means that I need to check what I was actually doing. Why did I not know I was heading in that direction? It means I didn't have a fully informed decision about how I was going to set about doing it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's about willing to be corrected, willing to correct yourself, willing to course correct, willing to realize that, hey, that wasn't a very clever thing to do. Being able to laugh at yourself. But you're not going to be able to do any of that if you're more concerned about what other people think of you.
I love that, because correction, course correction, self-correction, constructive criticism, and still being able to be kind to yourself and say, you know what, I am going to mess up. I have made mistakes. You know, like you said, I wasn't fully informed, and this is how I prevent it from happening in the future. But I can still sit back and laugh at myself and say, man, but how? Like how? You know?
If you weren't fully informed, what was the reason for it?
Yeah.
Is it because you were obstinate about believing that your way was the only way, even though you got advice to the contrary? And then you had that face plant into the ground because you didn't take advice? Then own it.
Yeah.
And don't be embarrassed the next time you see the person who gave you advice that would have prevented that.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it. Understand that that person gave you good advice that you discarded just because of how you either didn't want to appear to them, hey, I'm not going to take advice from you, look at you, or you didn't want them to think less of you, like, hey, you need me.
Yeah.
So when you out of your head, when you're operating in that space where you're preempting how it's going to look, what they're going to think, how you're going to feel, all of that, you're losing sight of the present moment.
Absolutely. And nobody said you were going to perfect this race perfectly. You know, in life, you were going to achieve everything. You don't need correction. You know, like you said, you're obstinate in your ways. Like you're thinking, I can't be corrected. It's an assault on my ego. Like, you know.
Can I assault someone's ego now?
Go for it.
Perfectionists are boring.
True.
If you're a perfectionist, you're probably very boring as a company. Because you need everything to be a certain way for you to be happy before you're going to allow others to be happy around you. And that just sucks the lifeblood out of life itself.
Of course.
And that's the thing, right? How many of us are doing exactly that? We are so fixated on avoiding embarrassment, avoiding humiliation, avoiding failure, that we prevent ourselves from doing anything until we have absolute assurance that it's going to work.
Yeah. It's terribly boring to be with people who need to act, and nobody can even assure you that it's going to work out. You could have the plan. Look at the Titanic, for example. You know,
there's always someone waiting to sink you.
That's it. And I mean, it was
Conspiracy theorists unite.
They are, you know what? They are going to rally and say, "Hey, you're touching a sensitive subject here." Who? But like, they had everything. You can never figure out who would have predicted the iceberg. The plans for the ship itself, everything from structurally to every kind of emergency they'd planned for. But had they ever thought of iceberg?
Nope, because that's what happens when you get cocky about life. When you get arrogant. And the more control you have, the more arrogant you become, because you assume that you are in control until you're not. And then, because you didn't expect to be out of control, it claps you in a way that you never saw coming, and that just breaks your spirit, breaks your motivation, breaks your sense of self. And suddenly you become acutely aware of the fact that people have been witness to that massive failure of yours. And how do you recover from that? You can't recover from that if you're still focused on what people think.
I saw something that said that it's like the definition of success is going from one failure to the next without losing enthusiasm.
Sounds about right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Exactly. And what sustains the enthusiasm, right? That's the important part.
Yeah.
I can't make you enthusiastic about life. I can't. It's like something I always say is that you can give someone the world to be grateful for, but you can't insert gratitude in their heart.
Yeah.
You can give someone a million opportunities to be hopeful about, but you can't insert hope and optimism in their heart. It's what you think of yourself that determines how it is that you're going to approach that. It's not what someone else thinks of you. The only reason someone else's opinion of you becomes important is because that is what you need to feel good about yourself.
Validation.
Validation.
Do you think that's a drug?
Yeah.
Are people addicted to validation of others, from others?
I think it's more an excuse than it is a drug. And the reason I say that is because a drug usually helps you to escape. The need for validation doesn't help you to escape. It just helps you to avoid accountability for your life. So, in a way, it's almost worse than the drug.
It can lead you down very, very dangerous pathways, seeking that from the wrong people.
Not only seeking it from the wrong people, it's because you're not doing something that is like blatantly and overtly bad. You don't realize that you are actually going to drag other people down with you.
For sure.
When you need validation, you're not focused on how many people need validation from you. And that's how you drop the ball. And you become the weakest link and all of that. Because if you're so self-absorbed that you're worried about what people think of you, how many people are you letting down because you lost sight of them? How many people do you take from that you're not giving back to because you're more focused on what you're not getting?
It's so sad. I've seen people lose relationships with their children because they are still seeking validation from their parents.
Yep.
In their old age, hey, they've got big children, like 30s and in their 30s, and because they never got that from their father, they totally sideswipe their children and make themselves totally available to their parent, and it damages their children.
That's how you pay it forward. You pay the pain of your past forward by holding on to what you think you first need to have reconciled before you're going to show off for others. And that's how hope, you see, hope is an interesting thing. It's similar to faith, right? It's never ever absent.
Yeah.
It just depends where you're investing it, where you're directing it. So if you're hopeful that at some point you're going to finally have that voice and that stature with someone that you're looking up to or you want must validate you, that's where your hope is focused. So you're not hoping to actually be to be significant and impactful on the people that are actually waiting for you.
Yeah.
The people that have got space for you, that are looking up to you, that rely on you, that are inspired by you even. You're not going to see any of them because your hope is directed somewhere else.
Yeah.
Same thing with faith. You either place faith in things that are out of your control, or you place faith in something that has more meaning to you.
To place your faith in something that is out of your control, what kind of character building does it do for you?
If you place your faith in something that's out of your control, that's the kind of toxic positivity, kind of empty hope that you have. And I say empty hope because you're looking at, like, hoping that someone is going to validate you.
Yeah.
Hoping that some group is going to recognize you. Hoping that, you know, that structure or that organization or whatever it is that has a certain stature, you're hoping that they'll accept you. And that's how you're placing hope in something that's outside of your control.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at what it is about, say for example you want to be part of a certain movement or group or whatever it is, and you like what they stand for and what they're doing, you don't hold back on serving that same cause until they actually take you in. You exercise it in your own personal space, in the domains that you have access to.
That's so important.
We wait too much, you know. Just a simple example of how we wait, and given that it's the new year and all of that.
Yeah. The disdain.
Oh yeah, please. I'll even post a photo of the disdain of my face for this.
Goodness.
You know, I had this encounter once where someone close to us was going to have a birthday, and it was a milestone birthday, so everyone said, yeah, we're going to give them a surprise birthday. I said, okay, why? No, we want to surprise them. Okay, so you got a couple of weeks now before you plan the surprise birthday, right? And I then went and I said, no, go and let that person know that we're actually going to surprise them.
Okay.
And I was told, like, why? Why do you want to do that? I said, just do it and see what happens. And the result of that was that instead of having one surprise birthday party, they had weeks of joy and anticipation and excitement, looking forward to the moment that they were going to be celebrated.
Wow. That's so nice.
And that's what we lose sight of. When you wait for an occasion and you wait for a special date and you wait for an anniversary and you wait for the new year and you wait for the...
Yeah.
Stop waiting and start living.
Yes.
Like, seriously, come on, man. It's 2026.
So I need to share There's this thing that I've been doing.
Mhm.
I start a family WhatsApp group. I'm a December baby. Everybody's on leave. It's the 15th of December, the day before the 16th. It literally feels like a Saturday.
Uh-huh.
I start a group called Nazia's Surprise Party on the 1st of December. I add my family and then I leave the group. When they ask me about it, I say, I'm creating my happiness.
Exactly. Own it.
That's an idea.
Yes. And there's no shame in like
Yeah.
in like extending yourself in that way with
Yeah.
people that you value and people that you trust.
Yes. And I love the fact that you're saying you could have one single moment of a surprise, or you could have gifted that person those weeks of anticipation that they will be celebrated.
Yes.
And that's the principle of happiness. It's supposed to be consistent,
Yes.
not one hit wonder.
And not token gestures. Right?
Yes.
Now you wait for Valentine's Day before you recognize your loved one. Okay, and the rest of the year? Oh no, but we celebrate their birthday as well.
Yeah.
And our anniversary. And Mother's Day and Father's Day. Okay, that's about 5 days out of 365 days. What about
Yeah.
the other 360 days?
I'm so looking forward to you butchering Valentine's Day. I cannot wait to have that interview with you about Valentine's Day. And I'll be sure to add in the 5 love languages.
Oh,
and I'll
God.
be sure to add in all the cliches. I will have us live stream the interview on Facebook so that you can just see. By the way, Zaid's wearing red today. So that is prophetic. Yeah, the Valentine's interview, don't miss it. Don't miss it. The promo's going to be 2 hearts, like a heart broken in half. Because I'm telling you, it's something we need to talk about. Why are we so intoxicated by all these cliches and this? You're supposed to be doing it every day. These are not days that's supposed to be allocated. Like, I love the fact that you actually... So this person actually enjoyed knowing that the birthday was coming.
Because they knew their birthday was coming, right? But they didn't know whether or not everyone placed any significance on it. Now,
Right.
I'm not a birthday person for good reason, and we can deal with that at some point.
Right.
Right? But here's the thing, is that if you know something is important to someone, and they also know that that similar thing is important to you as well, like
Yeah.
birthdays, celebrating birthdays,
Yeah.
right? Then everyone's testing to see like how are they going to acknowledge my birthday.
Yeah.
It's important to me. They
Mhm.
know it's important to me. They know it's my birthday. Oh, they forgot.
Mhm.
Oh, look, they just sent me a token gesture. Oh, they just sent me a scripted kind of meme that they found on the internet on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And what does that do to the relationships? It's like you don't really care about me. You're just doing it so that you can say you did it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, is that everything's become so token by nature that relationships are driven by tokens. Families are driven by tokens, token functions, token gatherings, token gestures and rituals and traditions.
Yeah.
And that's how you lose the sweetness of life. That's how you
Very
stop
true.
living and you start waiting for occasions. And what are you doing between those occasions? Oh no, we're hustling. Oh, what are you doing with your hustle? You're burning out. Yeah, because that tells me how much I'm hustling.
Yeah.
So I'm burning out, so I deserve a celebration, so we're going to do my birthday.
Yeah. When you put it like that, you know how dumb people will feel.
What is the point of the hustle if it's only for some distant moment in time that you're hoping you'll live long enough to be able to celebrate it?
It's terrible. I think that this, if anything, this is a reset. You've got to reset your mind. You've got to ask yourself, what are these things that you say are important to you? Why are they important to you? What do you gather from it? What does it do for you?
I agree, but here's a question. If you're waiting for the new year to reset,
Yeah.
how much did you waste in the year that just passed? And how many years have gone by where every year you wait for the new year to reset? And then you complain by the end of the year that, oh my God, it was such a tough year. So many things happened. So many things were out of control. It didn't go the way I wanted it to go. I'm going to own 2027. And then I'm going to own 2028. And before you know it, you want to own something, but you're too old and too frail to own it.
It's like you consistently moving the finish line.
Yes.
And so you always feel like you're in the race, but you're never ever achieving the finish line.
What is the point? What's the point of waiting for some special token moment in time that literally means nothing? It's a mark on a calendar that has been manipulated multiple times over the centuries, right? I mean, April Fools came about because someone arbitrarily decided that the 1st of April is not going to be the new year anymore, it's going to be 1st of January. So if you continue to celebrate the 1st of April as the new year, that's why you're a fool.
You are the person who tells us the tooth fairy doesn't exist. You are the person that tells us Santa Claus doesn't exist. And when our lips start to quiver like, what did you just say? You're like, yes, and guess what else? That's exactly what you're doing, but it's right. We have been manipulated. And, we call ourselves the woke. You know that word woke?
Oh.
That word woke?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know it's a triggering term for you. But we need to be more conscious. We need to be self-aware. We need to be content. We need to be happy.
I'm just asking people to be connected with your life. Just connect with the reality of your life. Not what your life's supposed to look like, what someone else thinks it's supposed to look like, what success is supposed to look like. Connect with your life. And then suddenly you'll have reason to be grateful for what it is that you have opportunities with and exposure to and access to and people around you. And guess what? When you are genuinely grateful for those things, you actually do something positive and constructive with those things and with those people. And what does that do? It builds on the positivity you already have instead of sitting there hoping that all the negativity stuff is going to turn into positivity stuff by some miracle because the universe is waiting to answer you.
You see, Zaid can't help himself.
I told you I'm cynical today.
You see, we need to hear this because we want to be hopeful. We want to be happy people.
Yes.
We want to be content people. It's the how.
Be meaningful about it. Be purposeful. Like live with conviction. Not with this airy-fairy kind of dream that, oh no, one day. No, today. Not one day.
Yeah.
This week. Not some time in the future. This month. Not 2027.
And that speaks to procrastination.
Right. And why do we procrastinate? Because we don't believe in the value of what it is that we think we should be doing.
Yeah.
We don't believe in the actual value of it. It's not important enough for us to exert ourselves and to sacrifice because that is important. The moment we procrastinate is because we think something else, no matter how frivolous it is, something else is more important than what we claim is important to us.
And it's so important for us to get real.
Yes.
Real. Deal with yourself for the reality that you are facing, not the fantasy in your head.
Exactly.
Like life on life's terms, your life's terms, and what you're currently facing and the version of you at that moment.
Yeah.
So that's important. What are your resolutions for 2026?
To annoy as many dreamers as possible. No, I'm kidding. I don't have resolutions for 2026, but what I have done over this quiet period, because it's just coincidental that it's the quiet period,
Yeah.
I did work throughout, but what I have done is I took some time to take stock and to just restructure what it is that I've been meaning to get to that I haven't gotten to. So I've managed to knock off quite a few big items from my list already. And it set me on a good kind of traction, momentum for the months ahead.
Okay, awesome. Why should we be hopeful this year?
You should be hopeful this year because even though everyone's waiting for World War III, there's a prophetic tradition that comes to mind that always grounds me. It says that if you see the end of times approaching, like you can see it approaching you, and you have a sapling in your hand, plant it. You focus on what is in your control because you don't know what impact planting that sapling is going to have on that approaching disaster.
Okay.
So you can't lose yourself to what is out of your control and what looks like it's doom and gloom. The only reason doom and gloom prevails is because people who have the opportunity to do something about it are sitting and waiting.
Yeah. Wow. I think this is an awesome start to 2026, to season 2. We need to be hopeful, but vision without action is just a dream.
Yes.
So go out there and make it happen.
Make it happen. You've got access to things now. You've got life within you now. You've got health now. Even if it's not ideal, you build on the good health that you've got so that the ill health takes care of itself. You focus on what's positive, on what's constructive, on what's meaningful, on what's substantial. Not on what's doom and gloom because, what about people? What will people say? I don't want them to think they got away with it, so I'm not going to let go of that bitterness. Yeah, at what cost? At what cost are you holding on to the bitterness and the heaviness of 2025 that is now going to contaminate 2026, while you're going to convince yourself in 2027 that if only they changed and they did this, my 2026 would have been better?
That is a very powerful statement to make. If only they, then I. If only they changed what they were doing, then I wouldn't be where I am today.
Mhm.
And that is an excuse.
Yeah, you're abdicating accountability for the choices you're making. And people don't like when I use the word abdicating, so let me put it more plainly. You are blaming others for decisions you are not willing to make. And the reason you're not willing to make those decisions is because you're more concerned about what they're going to think, how they're going to feel, how you're going to appear to them, and what you might set as a precedent for them. You're concerned about everything other than the decision you need to make. Be purposeful in your life. And if there's one thing that demonstrates gratitude, demonstrates it, and I'm not talking about attitude of gratitude and journaling and all that nonsense. I'm talking of genuine, meaningful gratitude, is when you show what you do with what you claim you appreciate in your life, with who you claim you appreciate in your life. If you claim you appreciate having certain people around you or care about certain people around you, what are you doing with them and for them, rather than what are you waiting for before you're going to acknowledge them? So if you believe you're a person of gratitude, prove it. Not to me, not to anyone else. Prove it to yourself. Hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Because that's where it starts. It starts with what you hold yourself accountable for, not what others are holding you accountable for.
I'm so happy that we have this topic. Our listeners too. Nasser says you have to cope to get hope.
No, don't cope. Don't cope. Don't cope. Nasser, please don't cope. Coping will fail you. It will. It's only a matter of time. What you have to do is deal deliberately, decisively, consciously with what you've got in front of you. And if that means you have to cope for a while with something that is out of your control until you can get to a point where you have more resources, then see that as a method, not as a coping mechanism to go through life. It's a method to get to the next point. It's not something that you're going to rely on for a long time.
Yeah, don't cope. Then we've got Asma Adams saying, welcome back to my favorite two in season 2. I trust you both are feeling refreshed and recharged. Your energy, guidance, and inspiring words were truly missed. Looking forward to another year of great conversations and motivation. Oh, wow. Thank you, Asma. And yes, we are here and back for season 2. And you can look forward to a very interesting topics and a lot more cynicism from Zaid. And also, obviously, we are here to like, you can give us the topics as well, that you can feel free to tell us, this is what I wish you would discuss. And we're happy to do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
No holds barred. Everything goes. There's no sacred spaces here.
Yeah.
We won't be irreverent.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be flippant for the sake of sensationalism, but there's no tough question that we're not willing to answer.
Absolutely. So you can even submit those topics, listeners, that you would like. The WhatsApp line is 077-280-4792. And thank you so much for participating in the discussions and sending us your messages. What is your parting message for us as we begin this beautiful year? January 2026 is here, Coach Zaid. What would you like us to have in terms of frame of mind, advice, anything, golden nuggets?
2 weeks have already passed. Do you realize that? 2 weeks of this year is already gone, while you're still getting used to writing 2026. That's how fast time flies.
Yeah.
So, keep it real. Keep it practical. Keep it focused. Meaningful. Be deliberate about your life. Don't wait for life to happen. Make it happen.
Absolutely. Coach Zaid, Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much for being here, for coming back to us. And of course, we look forward to another year of us talking very important topics. Thank you so much for your wisdom.
Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah for having me back, and I'm looking forward to it.
It's such a pleasure. So there you have it, listeners. 92.2 East Wave FM. I'm telling you, my brain is still marinating in everything that we've discussed this hour. But yes, stay hopeful and stay tuned to 92.2 East Wave FM.